And I love working with the Carolina Balloon Fest basically year round because I have a passion for ballooning.
Right.
I'm a pilot myself, still fly regularly. So being able to work in ballooning every day is kind of a dream job.
You need volunteers to run this stuff.
You know, as they say, it does take a village.
Yeah.
And this is one of those times where it couldn't be more true. The Carolina Balloon Fest averages about 40,000 guests each year for our festival over really 3 days. And the only way to manage that is to partner up with volunteers to help us do it. And that's over 600 different volunteers from different organizations that really step up. And it's a great opportunity for people just like yourself who volunteered initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have that awe factor with people who come out each year to do the same thing.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Community Spotlight. I'm Paramedic Ron with WAME Radio, and today we're going to be talking to Sam Parks about the Carolina Balloon Fest, something that I've been active in for a long time. I think, Christy and Marcia got me into ballooning.
Yeah, what year was that?
That was 20 years ago.
No kidding. Wow.
Marcia actually, whenever we were working at another radio station, they did a show called The View from Statesville. With her, it was Christy, Marcia, Susie Weiberg, and Pam Case.
I remember that.
The four of them got together and convinced Billy to do a on-air live thing. Well, it was a edited thing, so we could make sure that what they said we could cut out if we need to. And then those four ladies actually got me into. I say four. Marcia and Christy got me into ballooning.
Right.
And Marcia actually looked at me one day and she said, before we started recording, she said, "Hey, do you want to go fly with me tomorrow and take pictures?" And I thought she realized that I was terrified of heights. So I was like, kind of laughing it off. And then at the end of the show,
you'd never flown before prior to that?
Never flown before in anything.
Right.
And she looked at me at the end of the show and she said, "You know I was serious, right?" And I was like, sure, it's a once in a lifetime thing. And this was whenever she was flying for Ford. Mm-hmm. She had the Ford banner on her balloon. And she said, "I want you to take pictures for me whenever we fly up over the Ford dealership." And we took off actually from over here right where Village Inn is now.
Oh, yeah, that little vacant lot right there.
Right behind it.
Yeah.
And she said, "Just take pictures of that, and then afterwards you can just take pictures of whatever you want to." And that was 20 years ago, and now... Marcia, I blame you, as I always have. It's your fault that I'm in ballooning now.
Well, I guess you got over that initial fear of the flight. You did okay?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
We took off, and I didn't even realize we were in the air, just like normal.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will have to admit, I've been flying almost 40 years, and the first time I flew, I was terrified, but you quickly get over it because it's not anything like other types of flying.
No.
You don't get the sensation of movement. Like you said, you didn't even know if you were in the air.
Right. I mean, you're because, and I love it now because I can explain to people, hey, you're scared on the ground and you're worried about the wind and you're worried about that, but you're floating with the wind.
That's right.
So,
yep.
Carolina Balloon Fest has been going we just had our 50th anniversary.
We did. We just had our golden birthday. We had quite the celebration last year. Had a birthday cake and all the trimmings for a proper birthday. So now we're starting our next decade. So we're into our 51st, and we're hoping that our next decade is just as exciting as the last.
Yeah, and I think it will be. But as far as how long have you been involved with the Carolina Balloon Fest?
Wow, that goes way back. You mentioned 20 years. I actually volunteered for the Chamber of Commerce in 1986.
Okay.
I volunteered as a local chase crew person that was willing to help an out-of-town pilot. And the year prior to that, actually a pilot that at the time was working for Firefly Balloons landed in my back pasture.
Really?
And I helped him pack up the balloon. I said, "How can I get involved?" He suggested that I volunteer. I did. I still have the letter today from Danny Hearn, who was president of the Chamber of Commerce at the time, because the Chamber was running the event at the time.
Oh, okay.
And actually, it was the National Balloon Rally before it was the Carolina Balloon Fest.
I remember the balloon rally itself.
Yes.
Because whenever we first moved up here, we moved up here in 93. and my dad actually worked for Wilson Security.
Okay.
Which they would come out and do security.
That's right, overnight security.
Yeah, whenever it was actually up on the runway.
Yep.
So I've
It
got
was
some
incredible.
old pictures of that.
Well, there was a time in which that we would have 150 balloons. It was 3 times larger than it is now. But that's how I got my start. I was a volunteer, and then I started then managing all the volunteer crew. Within a year, though, I had got my pilot's license, and in 1988, I started flying in the, at the time, National Balloon Rally.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been involved ever since. I did move away for 6 years. I moved out west.
You run away and left us for that bigger place out west and
Yeah,
Albuquerque Balloon Fest.
It's a great place to visit, but, living, so I did that for 6 years.
I'm sure that was an experience, though.
It was a wonderful experience, and managing the largest balloon festival in the world with 600 balloons was quite the learning experience.
So you go from helping with a balloon fest that deals with 50 balloons
Yep.
to 600 balloons.
Over 9 days, and we would have over 1 million different residents and guests come in. So it was a wonderful experience, but I was missing my hometown. So in late 2000, actually early 2024, my wife and I moved back to Statesville. And at the time, my friend Don Edwards was the executive director for the Carolina Balloon Fest, and he was ready to retire. And so he stepped out of the way, and I stepped in.
He stepped up whenever we needed him and then stepped
did.
out of the way whenever he was done.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful time for me to come back. We had sold our heating and air conditioning company in 2018, which we ran for, 28 years. So the timing was just right to just come back, and I have been loving it ever since.
Well, good. We're glad to have you back for sure.
I'm glad to be back.
I know whenever they said that you were coming back, I was like, Sam's what?
Yep. It was just a
Sam and
wonderful
Winter are
timing.
coming back. Yay.
And I love working with the Carolina Balloon Fest basically year-round because I have a passion for ballooning.
Right.
I'm a pilot myself, still fly regularly. So being able to work in ballooning every day is kind of a dream job.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It really is.
So with Balloon Fest, a lot of, and I've found this out over the years, I think my first time actually volunteering was with Christy being, I don't know what, she was heading it up. Mm-hmm. She was
There was a time when her and Charles both
her and
were
Charles,
doing that.
yeah. And she called on me, of course, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to come help?" And I had done balloons, I'd helped with since Marsha had gotten me into it, and I was like, "Sure, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it." Well, that went from picking up trash to helping with crew to whatever else, and then there was one day that I was out there early to take pictures, and she looked at me and she said, "Hey, come get in the cart. I need you to go do something with me." Well, she took me over to, and I can't remember who was piloting at the time, but it was the AT&T balloon. And she said, "I need you to fly with him and help crew for him."
Oh.
So, because it was the Hare and the Hound.
Oh, competition
Yes.
that day.
And I was like, okay. I was like, this, and I think that was actually my second time ever flying.
Well, you're in the right place at the right time twice.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we've talked about volunteers. You need volunteers to run this stuff.
As they say, it does take a village.
Yeah.
And this is one of those times where it couldn't be more true. The Carolina Balloon Fest averages about 40,000 guests each year for our festival over really 3 days. And the only way to manage that is to partner up with volunteers to help us do it. And that's over 600 different volunteers from different organizations that really step up. And it's a great opportunity for people just like yourself who volunteered initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have that awe factor with people who come out each year to do the same thing.
Well, and you never get tired of seeing balloons. I mean, you've been doing it for, you said 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
And do you ever get tired of looking up in the sky and seeing these big, beautiful balloons?
No, I'm afraid if that day ever comes, because it will mean that it's not as wow as it used to be.
Right.
But no, after all these years, it still is.
It's exciting. So
It really is.
And as far as the volunteers that are there, you said how many different organizations?
Well, over the last decade, the Carolina Balloon Fest has had over 75 different organizations from anywhere from the Boys and Girls Club to United Way to Restoration Road, you name it. 75 different local organizations that have provided volunteers for the Carolina Balloon Fest, whether it's from picking up trash or managing a certain area of the event, such as
I think I ran a ticket booth one time.
Yeah, ticket booths. You have people who are in charge of chase crews or in flying events. But we have several different categories where people can then just backfill. And as I said, it takes everyone.
Yeah, and you may sign up for one thing, and then you get out there and they say, hey, I need you to help me with this. Can come over here and help me real quick.
Yeah, one of our board members, Jada Thompson.
Oh, yeah, love Jada.
Yeah, she's been doing it for many, many years, and she manages all of those people. And it's a great undertaking, and she's really good at it.
I know last year I sent, or Christy had sent me a message to sign up for the birthday celebration beforehand thing.
That's right.
And of course, I told her, yes, I'd do it. Well, she told me to sign up one way, and Jada sent me a message, and she said, were you signing up for volunteering for the balloons, or were you signing up for this? And I said, no, I was told to sign up for this through this. And she's like, no, that's not right. Let's do this.
Well,
So,
she's great at it.
she is.
And in some cases, it's kind of like herding cats
Yeah.
because everyone wants to help, but they don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
Yep, and she's great at providing orientation, providing instructions, but really it's a great symbiotic relationship because we can't exist without them, and in turn, their organizations are actually earning money.
That's right. So you have, and you told me a number beforehand. We've raised a lot of money with the Carolina Balloon Fest for all these organizations.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling when we have that night of celebration, which is the first Tuesday in December.
Right.
Because it's actually a national day of giving. And so we always coordinate our night of giving on the day of giving. And we're so pleased to be able to give back those big golf checks to all those different organizations. Yeah. And since 2015, we've given back to this community over $1.1 million of donations.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it helps a lot of people.
That's part of our mission statement. You know, we want to promote Statesville and Idle County and then continue the heritage of ballooning here in our state of North Carolina. But that third thing is to be able to provide funding back to local nonprofits if we're blessed with good weather and we have a lot of people that come up.
That's awesome. And speaking of a lot of people coming up, so one of the things that was mentioned at the night of giving last year was we had people from almost every state buy tickets.
Yeah, we're really blessed because, you know, with the rally going on for 50 years, we've got this fan base that just keeps coming back. And that's a wonderful thing. And we have a marketing team that actually markets the Carolina Balloon Fest year round. So the only 3 states that didn't buy tickets to come to the Carolina Balloon Fest were Iowa, Wyoming, and Hawaii. We even had people from Alaska show up. And in addition to that, we have over 3 million connections through social media, our Facebook pages, our website. So we have a great fan base.
Yeah.
We're really blessed with that.
And the one of the big things that we had last year that we hadn't had in the past was the drone show.
Yeah, we surprised everyone with that.
That was awesome. And
we didn't want to tell
we got
anybody.
to help a little bit with that. So we knew a little bit about that, but we were able to keep it under secret and keep it wraps.
Yeah, no, thanks to you, Ron and Billy, you were able to manage all the music editing because that was something that I really needed some help with.
Right.
So coming into the radio station studio probably a month or so before the rally, you were able to see it and then be able to mesh all the music into it. And it was a wonderful opportunity. And hopefully you'll be able to help us with that again this year because we're bringing the drone show back.
Of course. Yes, that's awesome. Seeing that beforehand, I was in awe at just looking at it and being like, oh, this is going to be great. So
we were pleased to bring the first drone show to Statesville.
That was awesome. And there was how many drones in that? Do you remember?
300.
300 drones.
Yeah, we're going to do it again. And one of our primary focuses this year is now that we've already had our 50th birthday, our nation is having its 250th birthday.
That's right.
So part of what you're going to see at Carolina Balloon Fest this year is that celebration of 250 years.
That's awesome. So we're always needing volunteers.
Yes.
We are all, and volunteers, can they sign up now?
Yeah,
Is
they
it
can
open?
actually, yes, they can go on our website and they can click on a link, and that takes you to Jada Thompson.
Okay.
And you can just communicate with her directly. We're going to be soon opening up our vendor link where vendors can actually sign up. And tickets went on sale earlier this month, April 16th, and I'm really pleased to say that we set an all-time record on opening day ticket sales. We
Wow.
even surpassed last year's ticket sales when it was our 50th.
Which is awesome.
So we're very excited about the opportunity to have more people come out to the rally.
So what is that website?
www.carolinaballoonfest.com.
All right. So that's where you would go and look and see about all the information about signing up. But I mean, we've got way more to talk about now than just that. But so the impact that we have had as far as the community goes over the past 50 years, it's not so. Yes, granted, you do have the people that don't necessarily like seeing balloons come down, but we're working on that as a community.
Yeah, we are. But we're very sensitive to our farming community.
Right.
And we have what's called a prohibited zone map that all of our pilots fly with, because we do respect those that have cattle and chickens and other kind of a livestock. And if someone doesn't want us to land on their property, we note it on the map, and the pilots just stay
Right.
away from that.
Absolutely. And we only if there's an emergency is the only time that would ever
correct.
happen. So
But we also, contrary to that, we do have those that really do want balloons
Yes.
to land on their property.
and we have a way to have them let us know that, right?
Yes, and we call it the International Welcome Mat, and it's essentially just a white sheet. If they put out a white sheet on their property, that tells the pilots and the crew that they can land there during the festival.
Yeah.
And we have a landowner relations prize because we get all the information from the landowner when a pilot lands.
Right.
Name, telephone number, email address, etc. And so at the end, we actually draw for prizes and give them back to those that were gracious to allow our balloons to land.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of Carolina Balloon Fest is all about giving back.
Absolutely. It's a large community. You know, we did an economic impact study during the 50th this past
Right.
October, and we've now realized that we give over $4.1 million of economic impact to both Statesville and Iowa County,
That's
both
awesome.
direct and indirect economic impact. So it not only has an impact for those 3 days, but it also gives back to the community through really our revenue over expenses.
Right.
And so the impact is really year round.
That's amazing. That amount of money that is not only just raised for the volunteers and those organizations that they're serving, but also the businesses and the local community.
Absolutely. Our taxes, whether it's going out to one of our local restaurants or one of our local bars, or if you stay at a hotel or you buy gas,
Right.
It all adds up. And we were able to quantify that through this economic impact study.
And the balloonists, trust me, we eat.
That's right.
We are always going to breakfast. We are always going to dinner because usually balloons, that's whenever we are able to fly balloons.
And last year, all of our tickets were sold out. So it's not only the balloonists, but it's also those fans that come
Yes.
into town, because the largest majority of those people don't live here.
No.
They come in from various locations.
I think the ones that we flew last year, because I helped with Marsha last year, and I think the ones that we flew every one of them was from somewhere out of town.
That's right. This actually puts Statesville front and center on the map because the Carolina Balloon Fest actually gets people to come to Statesville that may not have known about Statesville beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
And we really are pleased with the way that they're welcomed when they do come to Statesville.
Yeah. And we have like you talked about earlier, we have Firefly balloons right here in Statesville.
That's right. Yeah, a manufacturer that locates, it's only about 2 miles, really, from where the balloon rally actually takes place. And they build balloons year-round. And that's the whole reason why the rally got started 50 years ago,
right.
because our founder, Bill Meadows, wanted to have a homecoming for all those people that had bought Firefly balloons. And so they could actually come back over a course of 2 separate weekends. And really, it's kind of like hangar flying. You just tell stories and enjoy each other's company. And that's what got it started in 1974.
Now, were a bunch of those that started it, I know they were customers of Firefly, but weren't they also like students of his, I think?
They were, yes, because Bill was training a lot of pilots back then. This is really into the early stages of ballooning. And so people were not only learning to fly balloons, but they were buying balloons from that manufacturer. And so Bill had really built up quite the pilot list.
Right.
And so having people come back and have a rally was kind of an impromptu way that they could stay connected. And look what it's grown into.
It's grown, and balloonists are some very interesting people.
They are.
We meet interesting people, and we are a group of people that it's a huge community. It's one of those things that if you need something, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call, and we're there.
Right. That's
So,
exactly right. And Bill is still with us.
Yes.
And so even though he started the rally in 1974, he's in his upper 80s, and
Right.
he really was kind of one of our dignitaries at last year's 50th, as well as Don Klein, who was at the time the only pilot that had been to every one of the 50 Carolina Balloon Fest before.
and has flown in every one of them.
Every one of them. Yeah.
Even whenever he wasn't necessarily supposed to.
Yeah, he broke away on one of his tether lines one time.
Yeah.
When everyone else was grounded, so he can say he's flown at every one of them.
Exactly. And there was, even during COVID, we kind of got together as a group and did some small things.
That's right.
And he even come to those.
He was there.
So
Yeah, because the ballooning community really they look forward to this every October.
Yeah.
And so does the city of Statesville, and so do our fans.
and we look forward to seeing everybody because
Yes.
it's not just, it's kind of like where we were talking about the bigger balloon festival, Albuquerque. And all of those pilots don't live in Albuquerque.
No,
All of our
they
pilots don't live in Statesville.
Nope. No,
Although we
because
have a large group.
we do, and as a result of what used to be the National Balloon Rally, now the Carolina Balloon Fest, you have a large contingency of local pilots and that really carry on that legacy year round. But a lot of our pilots come from various states,
Yeah.
come from all over the United States. We actually have a waiting list of pilots that want to come because
That's
it's such a cool event.
Yeah, and we have fun.
We do have fun. Yeah, and with 50 balloons, we'll say it's laid back. There's no pressure to fly. We have some competition. We have a little bit of camaraderie with our paying passengers. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Carolina Balloon
That's
Fest.
right. And we talked about ticket sales going on sale early April. The event it's always the third weekend in October.
Always the third weekend in October. This year it's October 16, 17, and 18.
I think that wasn't the same thing last year.
Off by one day.
it off by
17,
one day?
18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fun event, guys. If y'all have never been, make sure you come out to it.
Yeah, I mean, and buy a ticket if you'd like, or
Yeah.
volunteer, and that's a great way to get involved in the rally.
I was going to say, let's talk about that a little bit, because if you volunteer, you get in for free.
You do, yes, and because we need you.
Yeah.
And so, that's a great way to get integrated into the festival without actually paying
Yeah.
to be
And
there.
you can volunteer all 3 days.
But those people that do pay for tickets, they're a major part of the success story.
Absolutely.
Because it's through those $20 tickets that we actually help fund the event, that actually helps contribute to those nonprofits after the event's over.
Right. And not everybody can come out and do the things that need to be done either, especially with volunteering for the balloon crew,
Yes.
because it takes some physical attributes to be able to do that for the most part.
And we get up at this strange time of day too, 5 o'clock or earlier each day. So we get up with the chickens because we fly when the sun comes up.
And then we're out there for the most part all day long.
All day long.
And then turn around and maybe get into bed by 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Do it again the next day.
So,
Yeah.
but it's worth it for the amount of people that we are able to help, for the smiles on the faces of the people that come out there to see us. It's worth it.
And I really like the idea that the Carolina Balloon Fest is truly a family-friendly event.
Yes.
Yeah, you bring your kids out, put them in a stroller or a wagon, and let them play in the kids zone, or just get out in the field and go crazy, and then see something that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
So the largest demographic of our guests are the family age, and so that's really cool for us.
Now, talking about the kids zone out there, is that a free thing for kids?
That's free.
Okay.
Yeah, that's included in your guest ticket, and they can just go crazy on the bouncy houses. We have magic shows. We have face painting. There's all kinds of things for them to be able to do. And there's some other entertainment that we'll be talking to you about later on as we get into the summer about what some of the cool things we're going to have at Carolina Balloon Fest this year.
And I know usually, and this is just kind of a name drop, Almanac usually has been there almost every year for the past several years I know of. Yeah,
they're a crowd favorite.
Yes.
But from what I understand, this is going to be their last year because they are retiring.
Oh.
Yes. And so Butch Morrison, who takes care of all of our band contracts and securing our music, tells me that this is going to be Albanac's last year. So if you're a fan, you want to come out for this show.
Definitely. And I'm sure it'll be special for something that they're doing. So
yes.
And they also have tethered balloon rides out there.
That's right.
So if you're too scared, like I originally was, to fly away, you can come out there and you can do a tethered balloon ride.
Yeah, and that's a really cool way to get really over that fear of heights.
Yeah.
Because the balloons are tied off and they only go up about 100 feet. And there's a couple of those balloons that do that of a morning and then of an evening. And it's a great way to get a sensation of what it's really like before you cut those ropes and take off.
Go for that free flight.
Yes.
So I just say, just like I did, just go for it. But if somebody wants to find out more information on the Carolina Balloon Fest, that website again was
CarolinaBalloonFest.com. And you can also find us on Instagram and also on Facebook.
Okay. And just Carolina Balloon Fest on both of those, right?
Just Carolina Balloon Fest, yep.
Okay.
And they can find out anything they need. Or if they want to find out more information, just shoot me an email at sam@CarolinaBalloonFest.com.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming in, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
I really do appreciate it. Look for us the third weekend in October. And as always, if you know somebody that does good in the community or knows an organization that you think would be good for our show, send me an email, ron.wameradio@gmail.com, and maybe we'll have them on. So thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next time.